Welcome back to Lunch Break. I'm Kelsey Hubbard. Syracuse besting top seed Indiana in a stunning upset last night. Our Wall Street Journal sports team has been all over the NCAA tournament, and WSJ sports editor Jim Teruzmi joins me now to forecast the rest of the madness. It is ongoing.
Hi,
Are people
Kelsey.
getting any work done in these 2 weeks? I don't know, but we're definitely watching the tournament as it goes. Big game last night. Indiana, Syracuse, really a great thing to watch.
Well, I know, being a journalist, you have to remain neusral, but I went to Syracuse,
Okay.
so that my alma
Full
mater had a big
disclosure.
game. Right, it had a big game last night. I was a little excited. I don't know if I remained impartial or not, but basically Indiana was one of the picks to win it all. A lot of people's picks. They're a top seed, third highest scoring team in the nation. They only scored 50 points last night. Syracuse played this 2-3 zone that basically confused them, perplexed them.
Now, how did that happen? I mean, they were watching videotape for days. They prepped for this, but really, when it came up to in person and live, they just couldn't do it.
Right. Apparently, they never faced a team that played a zone, which was confusing to me. You know, all season they basically were this high-flying team, high-scoring team. They did not play a team that played the same defense Syracuse played last night, and it just confused them. So, they go home. Syracuse moves on. Some people are happy, I would say.
I would think so. So, I mean, that must have been a real interesting point when people were picking their brackets, though, to know that, did they realize this team had never gone up against a zone defense like that?
Well, as you said, you figure they had a week off, so they had time to practice it, but I guess, they just got out-coached.
They got out-coached. They got out-maneuvered. All right, so Florida Gulf Coast is another one that people are watching, a team that's sort of, in the limelight.
Florida Gulf Coast was a 15 seed. They've already blown everyone's bracket. No one had them going this far. They're the first team, in fact, to go this far as a 15 seed. So basically, that's the fun in rooting for them, because basically, if you root for them, no one picked them, so everyone's bracket is ruined already. So, but tonight I think it's going to end. They play Florida. Florida playing Florida Gulf Coast.
Wow.
I think Florida, basically the small school playing the big boys. I think Florida is going to win.
Now, why have they been able to really stay in it so strong when nobody really realized that to begin with? What are they doing right?
Well, they play an exciting brand of basketball. They're nicknamed Dunk City. They limit the other team to not dunking the ball. So basically, they upset Georgetown. They upset San Diego State. I think the run's going to end tonight, but it's worth watching. It's a fun story, and it doesn't even sound like a school, right? Florida Gulf Coast. Great.
That's right. It sounds like maybe a retirement
spring break
home.
or a spring break destination.
Whatever. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at Michigan against Kansas. What's a chance for an upset there? Right.
Kansas is the top seed. They haven't played well. Michigan was struggling at the end of the season, but 2 wins in the tournament, similar to Syracuse. They were in the top 10 most of the season. I think they're going to win.
All right, and we've got Michigan State and Duke, which is
that's
always
the game of the night. The 2 blue blood teams. Both teams are usually in the Sweet 16. It's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a good night for Michigan. I think Michigan State's going to win that too.
All right, so let's look at where you are. How's your bracket doing? Can I ask you that?
It's already ruined. It's already ruined. So I'm rooting for Florida Gulf Coast. I think they're going to lose, but
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be tuning in to see that. Of course, around this office, everybody's following it, so I'm sure you are too. You can get much more from the sports team at WSJ.com.